Want to dominate Google Maps like these businesses? Watch this. Struggling to get your business noticed on Google Maps? Imagine missing out on potential customers because they can't find you online. And the worst part? Competitors are getting all the attention. What if you could turn all this around with just one simple tool? Meet Agency Assassin, the ultimate tool to boost your Google Maps rankings. Agency Assassin's SaaS platform improves engagement by performing user searches and finding your businesses. There's one user increasing their rankings in just 6 days. Agency Assassin offers improved engagements, visibility, and higher rankings on Google Maps. This software offers increased CTR, real-time engagement metrics, and unmatched visibility. Check it out now to transform your Google Maps presence and dominate your market in just days. Click the link below and get started and see the difference with this secret local SEO software. Hey, what's up everyone? Happy Friday. Welcome to another episode of the SEO Video Show. Today we are celebrating our 200th episode. The show's been live for about 4 years. Actually, we celebrated our 4-year anniversary a couple weeks ago. And we hit our 200th episode today. That's me going live practically every week for the past 4 years. I do skip New Year's Eve and around Christmas time, Christmas Eve. That's my birthday. Happy Friday, everyone. Today we have Jane Hunt of JBH. And we'll be talking about the importance of digital PR in SEO. I've been using a lot of digital PR. I'm creating my wannabe digital PR campaigns for my clients. I've been seeing some really great results. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about digital PR strategies from Jane. I see a few of you out there already. Don't be shy, guys. Say hi in the live chat. Stefan, my man, happy Friday. If you're just tuning in, we are celebrating our 200th episode today. It's been about 4 years, going live every week, every Friday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I see Jane in the back. Hello, Jane. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Love it, love it. Hey, we're matching. We got the blue one.
I know. Do you know what? I was thinking I need something bright. This is a fun podcast, you know. Can't be in a neutral.
Oh, man. We have Jane in the back. We are celebrating our 200th episode today. It's been 4 years going live every week. And I'm happy to celebrate here today with Jane to talk about one of my favorite subjects and the topic of SEO is digital PR. I've been doing digital PR maybe about a year now and been getting some great results. I'm looking to learn more strategies and understanding why it's working for all of us. Don't be shy, guys. Say hi in the live chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Are you based out of the UK, right?
I am, yeah. I'm just an hour outside of London. So, yes. And it's been a beautiful day here. It's been 29 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit.
29. So
I think it's around 90.
Yeah. That's
it's been hot. And I've been at the spa today. So I'm very relaxed. So I'm hoping no one asked me anything complicated because I don't think I'm in that mindset. I'm very chill.
Love it. Kenneth says, happy 200th episode. Thank you, Kenneth. If you're just tuning in, we have Jane Hunt in the back, and we'll be talking about the importance of digital PR in SEO. Latonya says, hi, Jane and Dre. Hello, Latonya. Is your office based in the same area where you're at right too as well?
No, our office is actually up north near Manchester.
Oh, so how far is that?
I'm actually further down south, so no.
Do you drive out there like almost like every day, or?
No, I tend to get the train up there once every week or once every fortnight. So yeah, it's easier than driving. Like driving down the motorway, I can't be bothered. So I'd rather just relax on the train for a few hours and then arrive feeling good.
There you go. Is there Wi-Fi on the train there?
It's patchy, so you can't rely on it. So you just have to download everything before you get on.
Love it. I see a bunch of you guys out there. Don't be shy, guys. Say hi in the live chat. Let me know where you're watching from. Today we are celebrating our 200th episode with our very special guest today, Jane Hunt, and we will be learning about digital PR. And Natalie says, looking forward to your episode, Jane. Hello, Natalie.
Oh, thank you, Natalie. So yeah, I'm honored to be part of your 200th episode. Very cool.
Yeah. No, and I think we actually we rescheduled. It just so happened, just land on the 200th.
We did, yeah. It was meant to be in June, I think, wasn't it? And then you offered me this one. I was like, yep, let's do it.
All right, guys. Don't be shy, guys. Say hi in the live chat. Let me know where you're watching from. We got about 3 more minutes to go and we'll get the show started. Get your questions ready. If you have anything on the topic of digital PR, get them ready. We have our very special guest today, Jane Hunt, who will be able to answer your questions all about digital PR and learn how she's been successfully launching digital PR campaigns for SEO.
But go easy on me, because I've had the day off. I've been at a spa. I'm very relaxed. Ease me in slowly, everyone.
There we go. Kobe says, what's up, Dre? Happy 4 years and 200th episode. Thank you, Kobe. So it's about, what, maybe 8 o'clock your time now? 8 p.m.?
It is, yeah. It's literally just coming up to 8 p.m. on a Friday. Yeah, Friday night.
Friday. You're not going out to the parties or anything?
I know. I feel like I need to drink. We should be celebrating with a bottle of champagne.
Yep. Yeah, I have a bottle of Don P, but I don't want to drink it all by myself.
You're not by yourself. You're in company.
Oh, man. All right, guys, we got less than 2 more minutes to go. I'm about to get things ready here, so just get your questions ready. And Jane, I'm going to go ahead and put you on mute for now. And about 8 minutes after the hour, I'll introduce you in after I go over a few videos. And I'll talk to you on the other side.
Sounds good.
All right, Lucy says, hi, Dre and Jane. Hi, Lucy. Dominate Google Maps like these businesses? Watch this. Struggling? Hey, what's up, SEO pros? Big news! I recently discovered SEO Nitro, and let me tell you, it's a game changer. In just days, I saw incredible results that blew my mind. With SEO Nitro, you can get links from thousands of different C-block IPs, the most powerful links at a fraction of the cost. Patent software lets you control your entire backlink profile in minutes. Add, remove, and change links at any time. Protect your site from Google's changes with SEO Nitro's revolutionary backlinking software. Imagine having the power to have laser-targeted theme backlinks, automated link spinning, set it and forget it. Thousands of stellar sites and manual and automated posting options. SEO Nitro is the ultimate SEO weapon. Head on to SEONitro.com now to revolutionize your SEO game. Don't miss out on page 1. It's just click away.
Yeah. Hey, time to get it started. No delay. Let's work. Wanna see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre De Vera, steady dropping knowledge. Over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO. You will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO video show. Hey.
welcome to another episode of the SEO Video Show, where SEO is alive and fun. My name is Paul Andre de Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released within the past week into about 1-minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guest, and this week's guest is the co-founder of JBH, Jane Hind. Before we get started, let's say what's up to everyone in chat. I see Lucy, Kobe, Natalie, Tanya, Kenneth, Stefan, Luther. Hello, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now let's get on with the show.
Hey Dre, why did the SEO cross the road? They wanted to get hit by traffic!
Google announced the end of Google Notes. Notes was an experiment in search labs where people can share helpful tips, unique ideas, and experiences related to content on Google search. I never got a chance to get into Notes, but I believe it was just getting spammed like crazy. So that's probably why they canceled it out. Okay, how do I remove all indexing errors under the page indexing report? Let's check this one out.
How to remove all the indexing errors under page indexing report. Gary on my team, hi, has put together a few LinkedIn posts on this topic. I'll link to them for you. The shorter answer is you don't have to fix all issues that are reported. Many issues will be expected. For example, if you remove a part of a website. Other issues might be normal. For example, that search engines just don't index everything on a website. If you're curious about specific kinds of reported issues, I'd recommend posting in the help forum to get insights from other site owners.
Here's a quick tip for you. If you just picked up a new client for some quick wins, check out the indexing report to see if articles that have been discovered and crawled and that need to be indexed, and submit them to the Search Console and build internal links or external links, or even run them through indexers. And now you'll have a ton of great content that Google is indexing for the first time, which can lead to new and increased rankings. Okay, let's check out one of Sage Media's biggest SEO ROI modeling mistakes. Let's check this one out.
The first is just simply if the industry is on a very sharp growth rate. What you find in Ahrefs or keyword research tools of choice will likely not represent the actual upside you will encounter. An example of this most pertinently today is everything AI. So if it has AI associated with it, most feasibly, what those terms will be in 1 year's time will be higher than what they were in the previous 12 months. There could be some things that go away or evolve and shift with that, but it's reasonable that many AI relevant industries will continue on a growth path. So if you modeled against the current search volume for those terms, you'd likely be greatly underrepresenting the outcomes and upside that you could see by instead thinking through an upside or rather the following 12 months of growth that you'll encounter. This is very similar to when a business acquires another business, you're buying them on the growth rate. So the growth rate in the past is quite sharp. You would expect that to continue at some reasonable rate, and that is adjusted in the valuation. You should do the same thing in ROI modeling as well. So a reasonable conservative calculation would be to take that growth rate, assuming it's not a hockey stick exponential kind of growth rate, which could occasionally happen, and cut that in half. So if we assume that the growth rate will kind of slow down and that's a reasonable thing to do, you could chop that in half. And that's probably setting expectations more reasonably while not underrepresenting what is probably going to be the growth most reliably given what this industry is doing and we expect it to do as we move forward.
Be sure to check out the full video in the link description is in the link is in the description. Okay, Steve Toth just released a prompt compression tool for ChatGPT. Do more with less. Let's check out what he's talking about.
The prompt itself is over almost at 8,000 characters. So basically, if I wanted to add any functionality to this, I simply can't because ChatGPT won't accept anymore. So what I'm going to show you guys is how we actually compress this prompt. But first, let's look at how many characters it is, or how many tokens. So 1666 tokens and just under 8,000 characters, which is the limit. All right, so now what we're going to use is something called LLM Lingua by Microsoft. This is the GitHub for it, and we've installed it on SEO Notebook at comp.seonotebook.com, which you can go to right now and use. So I'm going to paste in the prompt, and I'm just simply going to say click compress. And in a few moments, we're going to get a drastically reduced prompt, right? Token size, right? So if I scroll up to the top, we can kind of see the differences here. Instead of saying URA, it just says GPT model to analyze. Your task is just task to evaluate. So it basically takes out and strips out all the unnecessary words that ChatGPT does not need in order to interpret the prompt. And let's actually go and try this in a new GPT bot. So now we're in this prompt analyzer compressed, and I've already uploaded that same PDF, and let's upload it and let's see what happens. But anyway, we can see now that the prompt works in pretty much exactly the same way. And now, because that prompt is compressed and it's closer to 1,200 tokens versus 1,700 tokens, I can effectively add more functionality to this prompt. So basically, you can do more with less.
The link to the tool is in the description below. Speaking of AI, I am producing a new show on YouTube documenting the whole process. You can go to moneyshow.ai to learn more about it. Okay, how to do e-commerce SEO by Matt Diggity. Let's check this one out.
This is one of the strategies we use to increase a sex toy website's traffic by 90%.
Oh my God.
Categories are important for user experience and helping the buyer. For example, if you have a sweatshirts category, writing about the history of sweatshirts doesn't help them buy shit. Instead, they'll want to know what kind of fabrics the sweatshirts are made out of, what kind of designs and colors the sweatshirts come in, what sweatshirts are the most popular. Category pages should have just a few sentences below the main H1 heading describing the category items below. Then you should get more in detail about the category topic below the actual item. This helps Google rank your page better as the additional information provides better context. Your category URL structure should look something like this, which reduces the risk of having to change the URLs or the whole structure if new product lines or ranges are added. Your internal linking should follow the same pattern, linking from high-level categories down to subcategories. And don't sleep on schema, but use ChatGPT to make it for you. Your prompt, can you write a template for item list structured data, please? You'll get a nice template like this where you just need to fill in the blanks.
Very nice.
And don't forget your titles and descriptions, which can also be produced en masse with ChatGPT. Prompt, here's a list of category pages on my website. Footwear, shoes, sneakers, sandals, boots. All are men's. I'd like you to write SEO optimized page titles and meta descriptions for each one. For the title, keep the keywords men's plus category towards the front. And here's your output for 5 categories, all done in 5 seconds.
If you haven't seen Matt's SEO video show episode, I highly recommend it if you're planning on building your own SEO empire. Someone who has built her SEO empire is my guest today. Please ask questions on the topic and I will address them in the order that they are received. But before we introduce our guest, here's a word from our sponsor. Are you struggling to get high authority backlinks? My buddy Ferry has a perfect solution for you.
How much do you think this digital PR campaign is worth? Wait just 1 minute before you answer. Watch as we hijack the news with Taylor Swift and Barbie to get you the links. Now, we can take this data set from ONS and paste it right into your emails to get you the links. Now, how much do you think this campaign is worth? Don't answer! Wait until you see Bloomberg, BBC, Forbes, top-tier national and regional news outlets, reactive PR, data PR, expert commentary, over 70 team members at your disposal. This product is so hot, I need a fan! And then, listen to what campaigns we do at no extra charge. Gain character wages, bananas and sleep, best dates for dogs, luckiest UK areas, and many more. All for just how much did you guess? 10,000? 20,000? Even more? No! It's just £5,500. That's right. It's $5.5 grand. It's an incredible value, but it's true. It's digital PR from Search Intelligence. Order today. PO Box, searchintelligence.co.uk. Accept B2B clients.
Jane is a public speaker and digital PR expert. She co-founded JBH, the global award-winning PR and SEO agency in Manchester and London. She's grown the revenue 596% with impressive consumer brands in UK and the US. She's the winner of the European Search and Content Awards and PR Agency of the year 2022. Please welcome the CEO of JBH, Jane Hunt. Jane, welcome to the show.
Thank you. What an intro. Can I steal that? I want that.
Of course. Today I'm happy to celebrate my 200th episode with you today. And I mean, it's great. I met you at Brighton SEO, right? That was Brighton SEO out in, San Diego. San Diego. And a great meeting you. And I'd love to get right into it. And this is the first question I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here in 1 minute or less. How does Jane get ranking on page 1 of Google?
I think you know what I'm going to say, Dre. I think you know I'm going to say backlinks.
Love it. First knowledge bomb of today. Okay. Hold on. Let me rewind this. Take us way back to when you first got into SEO. Tell us that journey.
Yeah, it was kind of an organic journey, and I didn't really intend to end up in SEO, to be honest. So nearly coming up to 11 years ago, me and the 2 other founders, we set up as a content agency.
Okay.
And we were doing social media, we were doing graphic design, websites, you name it, we were doing it. And then as part of that, we were doing a lot of infographics and creating interactive content. And, some SEO agencies could see what we were doing with the content. They were like, well, can you produce interactive content for us that we can use as part of link building campaigns? Mm-hmm. And we were like, yeah, sure. So we were basically the content experts. We were the ones responsible for putting the great content together. And then we give it back to the SEO agency to do the outreach. And then further on, kind of a year or 2, we were like, well, we'll try and do the outreach too. We want more of a piece of this. Mm-hmm. So we started working with brands directly, creating outreach campaigns for them. This was kind of back in the early days of link building, when everything was an infographic or interactive, or it was a game, or anything immersive, really. And it just kind of took off from there, and we were really enjoying what we were doing. One of our first campaigns was The World's Most Dangerous Roads, which appeared on Mashable, and it was like the highlight of the agency, but it was like the highlight of the first few years of running it. And it just kind of took off from then. And about 7 years ago, we decided that we were going to change the agency. We were going to get rid of all the other services we offered, and we were just going to concentrate on digital PR, because I really wanted us to be experts in one thing and just create amazing campaigns.
Love that. Yeah, when it comes to digital PR, I actually had a digital PR podcast prior to. I mean, we were supposed to interview for that as well. And everyone also always mentioned you as one of the pioneers, and also mentioned that they like.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. I asked them how they learned digital PR, and they said, "Oh yeah, from Jane Hunt, JBH." I was like, "Oh, interesting. I'm gonna have a conversation with her soon." Love that. Okay, so what actually made you interested in in SEO and in the actual, doing SEO and digital PR?
Yeah, as I say, it kind of happened organically, and I still don't think of myself as an SEO, because I don't do technical SEO, and I would never give anyone SEO advice in that respect. Mm-hmm. I think of myself as a digital PR, and our roots are in content and more traditional PR as well. So I kind of sit in the digital PR camp, and I'll let kind of our SEO director, Andy Holland, kind of give anyone, SEO advice, etc., because that's his area of expertise. So I'm very much about digital PR, about backlinks, and anything related to backlinks.
Love that. Okay, let's talk about backlinks then. How did you first learn about acquiring backlinks when you first got into the SEO industry?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, again, it happened, it sounds a bit boring, but it happened very organically through being asked to do these campaigns for other agencies. Mm-hmm. And, I wasn't even aware of, what a backlink was really until, a year or 2 into the agency. And then they were like, this is why we need this content, because, backlinks are, a major, ranking factor for Google or other search engines. And so it kind of, that knowledge of backlinks and their importance kind of progressed from there. And now, day in, day out, my conversations are all about backlinks, backlink profiles, what to do, what not to do, etc.
Love that. And you mentioned like 7 years ago, you went more to digital PR. I mean, that's quite some time ago, because I've recently just got into it maybe the past year. It's getting a lot more traction now. And so was this, when you first figured out, you can use PR for backlinks, what were your resources? Again, it may have been organic, but how did you know that the digital PR was working back then?
You know, when journalists kind of obviously, use your content, that there's something there. And obviously you're hoping for a backlink, but if you get kind of a brand mention, we still consider that a win. And I know there's so much debate in the SEO community about the value of brand mentions, but I do believe, Google is, knowledgeable enough to be able to appreciate a brand mention has some value, and even a no follow, which I know is another topic in itself. But we just think any coverage, any PR is good, for the brand overall.
Love that. Okay, that's the perfect segue into our topic of today. And I want you to kind of give an introduction to digital PR, the introduction to digital PR and how it relates to SEO. Can you explain the difference between digital PR and how it differs from traditional PR?
I would love to, yes. So my version of this is that kind of traditional link building is very much, around kind of creating SEO-led content and potentially buying links. It's not always kind of that in the past, but a lot of the time it's kind of buying links with that content. So there's that exchange going on. And then, we've always done the earned kind of link building, where obviously we're exchanging great quality content for a link and no money actually changes hands between kind of us and the site owner, etc. And I think the difference that lets you kind of create earned digital PR or link building is the quality of what you're putting in front of the journalist. And if you're buying links, you can put any old crap in front of people if they're just going to post it for X amount, etc. But if you're pitching to really credible journalists, if you're pitching to, the world's biggest publications, you need to make sure that that content is amazing. That it's got a great headline, there's great data in there, it's really engaging or educational, and that they can see it's credible, and all your data is backed up and you've got all your sources and things in there. So I think they can see that, they can appreciate kind of the time and the energy that's gone into it. They can appreciate that you've thought about how they would use it as well, and that it's really timely as well. So for me, digital PR is very much about creating really good quality content that publications will be happy to cover and link to for free. And then more traditional link building, often on the kind of buying side, is more about an exchange of content, for a link, etc. And that's why I believe that, the link it's never a given in digital PR, in earned link building. It's the icing on the cake, if you will. Like the coverage is amazing, and then the link is that little sprinkle on top. But that's the extra.
I think it's more of the icing on the cake, because that link is a lot more valuable.
Well, it's like, links are lots of little sprinkles. Okay. We need lots of them, don't we?
Love it. Okay. So now that we know that we know that the importance of backlinks, right? So can you explain, is this the reason why you feel that digital PR is the importance is very, very important in SEO, in actual, SEO practice?
Yeah, I think over the last, especially since the pandemic, actually, I think the nature of link building has changed dramatically. And I can't say this as much for the US, but certainly in the UK, digital PR is now huge. Yeah. And digital PR is seen as the authentic way to build links. And link buying is seen as that shady kind of, basic, we'll have any old link and, here's some money, etc. So
excellent.
Yes. Yeah. And actually, I actually found that interesting too, because it is big in the UK. Obviously, it was something that I believe probably started in the UK, because I know we're starting to see a few agencies out here in the US starting to adopt the practice. But I feel like it is the future of SEO, right? Because you're right. We are creating organic earned links the correct way, and not necessarily buying it in like the whole kind of shady way of building links. But yeah, that's interesting. Why do you think that? I'm curious, like why would like a whole different country would do that and not be the same in the US? I'm curious. What's your thoughts?
I think it's a really good question, and I'm not quite sure why the UK is leading the way in this respect. But it's nice for us to lead the way in something, so I think you need to let us have it. But I think, just since the pandemic, I think, even before then, we were doing a form of digital PR, and it's very much about earned link building. But since the pandemic, the nature of how we've done digital PR has changed. And we were one of the first agencies to actually change how we delivered digital PR as a response to COVID. Because the moment COVID hit, we knew all of the campaigns we had lined up, previously, all these hero campaigns that were going to go live or had just gone live weren't relevant anymore. And, they weren't going to be part of the news agenda, and that we needed content that was going to be really timely and that was going to fit into this new world of COVID that everyone was talking about nonstop. So we refocused and came up with kind of a blended set of tactics, which includes kind of newsjacking, and then what we call kind of proactive PR, which is us pitching the story proactively to a journalist around kind of it's either seasonally or it's a particular kind of national event or something going on, like so it might be Black Friday, it might be Father's Day, whatever it is going on at the time. So we can create this content well in advance because it's in the calendar. We can get it ready to go. And as long as kind of there's a really good hook for the journalist and there's a reason for them to cover it, it's really effective. And we also do kind of feature pitching. And this is borrowing from traditional PR. So this is where we're kind of using the expertise of the brand. We're taking kind of stakeholders, we're creating case studies, and we're offering journalists more exclusive content. So more exclusive access to these brand ambassadors, these experts that the brand will have.
Interesting. Great. That's three different strategies. That was three different strategies that we have. Proactive. We had newsjacking, and then the last one was again
feature pitching.
Feature pitching. There we go. Three
and
strategies.
And then we still do hero campaigns.
But
not as many of them anymore. But we also do something we call a champion campaign now, and it's a much more condensed, quicker to create campaign that will still sit on your blog or your resources or wherever. And it tends to be like one data set in, compared to, 10 data sets that you might have for a bigger kind of thought leadership hero campaign, for example. So these like little champion campaigns are much quicker to get live, and you can still get great results from them, and you can just plan more of them because they're quicker to create.
Love that. Can you explain for those that don't know? I mean, I want to understand too, because what is a hero campaign? What is actually like the content of a hero campaign?
Sure, I'm throwing a lot of jargon around, so I apologize. But for us, a hero campaign is a big content piece. So it might be, it might be something interactive. It might be a data-led thought leadership piece about what's going on in a particular industry with lots of different angles. And it tends to sit on its own landing page, either on the blog or resources or wherever is the best fit for it. And we use it to drive kind of more of a volume of links. And so if we're doing a data-led piece, for example, we might have lots of different data sets that enable us to build lots of different hooks for different types of publications. So it means that we can target, for example, we could be targeting health publications, we could be targeting finance publications, a broader range than just kind of, a small piece that might be only applicable to, finance, for instance.
Love that. And
does that help?
Yes, it does. But,
if anyone has any questions or is like, what's she talking about? Just put it in the chat.
Yeah. And guys, if you guys, again, interrupt me anytime or like add questions in the live chat anytime you want, and I will address them as soon as I find a break and when I find them. But you mentioned data sets. This is something that, I find like is gold when it comes to digital PR when I try to create for myself or some of my clients is like, so what are some sources of data sets are you using to get some data sets to create these studies for your clients?
Good question. There are so many data sets, and I think you've got a lot more than we have in the US, and you've got some really cool ones as well. So over in the UK, we have the Office for National Statistics, which kind of covers lots of different kind of sectors and what's going on a national basis, for instance. And then in the US, you have, there's data for the FBI and, all the different states and, health and well-being in the workplace. Everything's covered. And we actually have a blog post called 200 data sets. So I will pull it out and share it with you like later on, because it's just full of data sets. If you're ever wondering, where am I going to find that data? So we've kind of broke it down into kind of different verticals and different options for people.
Oh, man, that's a gold mine right there. 200 different data sets?
It is a gold mine, yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna find it right now so I can actually share it. Yeah.
When you find it, I'll put it in the live chat, guys. I mean, that's something I would find really, really helpful for my campaigns. Because, and then when you get these data sets, what is kind of your strategy when you grab it? Are you combining data sets? Are you trying to find a data set that's related to a client? I'm trying to think of the story building of using one of these data sets.
Yeah, so wherever possible, we'll try and use a brand's proprietary data because that's unique to them and that's something nobody else has. Whereas a lot of the data sources everyone has access to, so your competitors could be pulling and using the same data. So we'll always see what their brand has first, what we've got access to, what we can pull. And then sometimes we'll add additional data on top of their data to create a bigger story or more hooks and things. So we can combine, so recently for a language learning brand in the UK, we took survey data and we added TripAdvisor data to it. And basically, it gave us a ranking of the rudest cities in the UK.
Oh, interesting. Wow, nice tactic there. Love that. Okay, so I'm kind of getting off off my set of questions here, but because I want to get deeper into this. This is really great stuff. When you mentioned hooks, how are you developing hooks, and what is a good hook? What have you found that has been a good hook to reel in the journalist?
It's a good question, and a hook obviously is very different depending on what journalist you're speaking to. But a hook is basically something that they'll look at and be like, oh, I could imagine writing that story, or I can do something with that stat, or I can do something with that opinion, right? So you're trying to hook a journalist in, you're trying to reel them in with it, a headline or something, or some little piece of data that's your hook. And it might be, for instance, searches for umbrellas. I don't know why I pick umbrellas because it's a beautiful day, but searches for umbrellas have gone up, 200% in the last week because, there's a hurricane or whatever might be going on. So giving them a timely hook can give them the idea for a bigger piece, or for them to take your little bit of data and create a story kind of around that.
Love that. My mind's just thinking of ideas while I'm doing the interview too. Oh man, this is some great stuff. Okay, so let's get back on track here. So I wanted to go into more of how have the developments of AI and LLMs influenced the importance of digital PR. How do you actually use AI and LLMs with your stories?
Yeah, good question. So I don't think AI and LLMs have had an impact on digital PR specifically, because digital PR has, been growing in importance before kind of the last couple of years of focus on AI. But I think obviously AI can be very useful as part of digital PR. So from a tactical perspective, we're using it to do research into what campaigns are working, what headlines work. We're using it to build up resources and data on, what works best, what doesn't, and to kind of give us more ideas as well. So to actually come up with headlines based on what's already out there, what, is already in the national newspapers or whatever it is on a given topic. So we can use it for research purposes. We can use AI to generate campaign ideas, to generate headlines. to source data for us. Obviously, with data, you've got to make sure that data's very credible.
Yep.
You've got to check that really carefully. So there's so much we're doing with it, just for the purpose of putting together a digital PR campaign. And then from a backlink perspective, we're also using AI to kind of map a backlink profile. And we've got a cool tool. It's very cool that we call, it's basically kind of link mapping. And so it creates clusters of links, like a visual of a backlink profile. And so it shows you kind of obviously your main web pages and then a cluster of links around them according to what links are pointing into them. And basically it's a glance and you can see, where all your links, where they point to, and where you might need some attention, etc. So for example, your homepage might have, the most links pointing to it naturally, but then, your second, most popular page, might be something that you didn't expect. So you can learn a lot from it, but also you can use it to say to clients, look, obviously we've got loads of links going into these pages, but now we need to focus on these pages because we haven't got many links around here. And if you want to rank for these topics or keywords, then we need to do some work here.
Love that. And this link tool, is it available on JBH or is it?
It's available for us internally. It might be coming soon.
There we go. Love that. So I'm curious. This also kind of brings to the kind of something related where, like, how are you measuring success in your digital PR campaigns? Like, I mean, you mentioned brand mentions, links. I mean, like, how does your client feel like, this campaign was successful and they got their value?
Good question. So obviously, for link building, historically, the focus has always been on a link volume, a domain authority or domain rating, etc., and whether it's a follow or no follow link or brand mention. But as an agency, over the last couple of years, we've been trying to go a lot deeper and actually understand the impact of the links we're building. And we do a lot of work to build links to target pages, so internal pages, like specific commercial money pages, because we know if we build links into those, we'll be able to see the impact of those backlinks much quicker than if we're just building a volume to the homepage. So we have a very targeted approach to this. And in terms of kind of what we're measuring, we measure from a brand perspective and an SEO perspective, because we know how important brand is, or should be generally, because obviously it's beneficial to SEO, but we're also having wider commercial benefit with the campaigns we're creating. So when we're looking at SEO, we're looking at the usual metrics that you'd expect, where we're pointing links to, etc., traffic, rankings. And then from a brand perspective, we're looking at how that brand is positioned in the article, whether it's the only brand or whether it's part of a roundup, in which case it might share all that lovely link equity. We're also kind of looking at if it includes key stakeholders. So we're building, expertise, we're building credibility for that brand. And then if there's any kind of specific kind of products that get featured in there, because if we know we can feature products, we can drive traffic to product pages, and hopefully we can have an impact on conversions and things as well. So we're looking at both of those things. We score every link we build in terms of the brand score and the SEO score, 5 points for each, and then each link kind of gets a total. So it's quite in depth, but it gives us some really interesting information about not only our impact on a search front, but also how we're doing for the wider brand and what marketing goals we're hitting.
Love that. Okay, so speaking of measurements and successful, measuring campaigns, have you ever had unsuccessful campaigns?
Of course, yeah. We're not buying links, so of course.
So I'm curious, how does that work? So you pitch a story, and let's say no one picks it up. What do you do there? What do you tell the client? I mean, I'm curious how that interaction goes.
Good question. Yeah. And you know what? Since we don't put all our eggs in one basket with hero campaigns, with the bigger kind of content campaigns, it's a lot easier these days, because in the past you might wait a month or 2 months for a hero campaign to go live. you might have thought it was the best idea in the world, but then it generates 0 links. And then you've got to tell a client who's just spent X money working with you that you haven't built any links for them. And it's not the best conversation. So not all digital PR or link building campaigns are created equal in that respect. Some do amazingly well and get hundreds of links, and some might get a couple. So because we now have a blended approach and we've got all these different tactics going on, we've got links coming in consistently. And that's what I love about what we do and how we do it, is we're not just kind of focused on one tactic. So it doesn't matter if a hero campaign doesn't perform as well, because we're also doing kind of newsjacking, proactive PR, feature pitching, etc. So it looks much more organic from a backlink profile as a backlink perspective as well.
Love that. And you're talking about like the same news, right? Like you're applying the same news to like a newsjacking technique, or is it just are they totally different like studies, or these different techniques are using the same kind of story that you're kind of like pushing it out, or is this
what for each tactic?
Yeah, like
oh no, it's very different. So we use different kinds of stories for different tactics. Yeah, so for example, trying to think of something related to something newsjacking. So obviously we've just had the elections in the UK, and so any kind of newsjacking, and also we just had the King's speech. So we will have done some newsjacking about what he said in his speech and how it links to some of our clients if it's relevant. So we'll go out and say, the king said X in his speech. This is the impact it might have on X. And this is the advice or tips or data from X brand on this topic. And this is kind of what we expect to happen as a consequence, or something like that. So we're always looking for things we can talk about from a newsjacking perspective. And we have what we call a newsroom, where we're constantly monitoring the news. We've got alerts set up for all the different brands we have, their competitors, all the topics they cover. So there's always things to be talking about for them. So, sometimes agencies say, oh, well, there was nothing going on in the news relevant to my client. It's not true. There's always something that you can be talking about.
Love that. Before we start talking about tools, I want to actually kind of ask this part where, okay, let's say you successfully launched a campaign, right? And it's it's getting all the links. Is there anything you do after it's launched and got picked up? Like, are you like, is there anything that what are you doing anything to optimize your digital PR campaigns after the fact it gets picked up? I'm curious.
Yeah, so sometimes you'll find that a campaign gains traction you didn't quite expect. So maybe it gains traction on social media. And if it gains traction on social media and people are talking about it, then you can be pitching those angles that people are talking about on social media because there's some traction there. So you can kind of, so you can take what people are interested in and you could be kind of repitching that. And then also just making sure that the landing page is optimized for everything you want. Obviously, you can kind of tweak little bits and pieces later on. Yeah, sometimes things do very well unexpectedly.
Love that. Okay, now let's get into your tech stack, because I'm pretty sure there's different things. There's listening tools, there's pitching tools, there's measurement tools. Like, I would love to know like what tool stack that your agency is using to like kind of help produce and like measure these campaigns that you're producing out.
Yeah, definitely. So we have a variety of tools we use. We use kind of the big media databases. Okay. So Muckrack, Bulio, and a couple of other smaller ones, depending on what territories we're targeting. So obviously for the US, we're heavily reliant on Muckrack, which is amazing. And then from kind of a monitoring perspective, obviously things like Ahrefs, we use a lot, SEMrush, just to see kind of how campaigns are performing, number of backlinks being built, any traffic off the back of it. And, in terms of idea generation, we look at things like Google Trends, BuzzSumo, Reddit, all those platforms where we might get an idea of what topics people are interested in and what within those topics people are talking about, or what the sentiment is. And then beyond that, for proactive PR and for idea generation, we're also looking at what people are talking about on social media. So what's trending on TikTok, like, you know, and we're often kind of, there's some ridiculous stuff on TikTok. So we're often busting myths, you know, and hacks that aren't correct and all that.
Oh, interesting.
And I think recently, this is crazy, but recently it's got so expensive to go to the dentist in the UK that people have been pulling their own teeth out on social media or just showing you how to pull your teeth out. So we've got a dentist client, so we're like, don't do that. This is the danger of doing that. Don't do it yourself. See a dentist.
Man. Oh man, I just thinking about. I mean, I'm thinking, and I'm suppose that these are adults trying to pull things out, not kids just trying to pull their own teeth out, right?
Oh yeah, these are adults, etc. But you know, it's still the kind of ones you'd expect, like tying your tooth to the door and then slamming the door.
Love that. I mean, it's a perfect story for a dentist client. I mean, he would. I mean, how'd that campaign go? Like, did it like get any traction on
that did very well, and there's so much you can, when it comes to health, there's so much you can talk about because everyone's always talking about their health. There's always new data coming out. There's just, it's a wealth from a topic perspective. So any health clients listening, any health brands, come see me because we love a health brand.
There you go. Okay, so you actually, I think I read on maybe your LinkedIn post, you mentioned something about trend mapping. Is that what is trend mapping? Is that something that you like when you would talk about now, like when you look at TikTok and you're just kind of mapping it to a client, like, okay, this is a nice trend for this client. Is that kind of like the case? Like,
yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's one of them. And then also kind of looking at kind of topic trends as well, and what kind of brands can be talking about in relation to those. So it's a variety of things, but generally kind of looking at what's trending on social media, what's trending in the news. It's just any information you can get basically that either helps you generate ideas or kind of improve upon what's already out there as well, so you can add something fresh.
Love that. I would love to go into like maybe like a sample like walkthrough of what you do when you get a client. Let's say they go to you and they say, hey, Jane, I am, let's say I'm a realtor. I'm a realtor and I want to create some news. I want to create some news for myself. What are the first steps that you like, you have an intake form? Like, what are the things you're going to ask me? And, how does that engagement work?
Good question. So when we get a new brand come on board, we do what we call a jam session, which is, it's an onboarding and it's like a brand immersion session. So it's understanding obviously what needs to be achieved from digital PR for the brand, what the wider commercial objectives are. So for instance, we know if we can hit some wider commercial objectives as part of our digital PR activity, we're more likely to get budget next year. And so on, because we're proving that we're more than just link builders, if that makes sense. So if we can also impact sales, if we can also impact form conversions, time on site, whatever it might be, then that's kind of added value for the client. So so it's understanding kind of what they want to achieve. It's understanding kind of what their topical knowledge is, what their area of expertise and USP is that we can use, and understanding what experts they have internally. So we're using experts a lot within our pitches because journalists need to reference an expert. If they're giving advice or sharing opinions or whatever, especially for health and finance, they need a credible expert in that brand in order to actually, quote them. So we want to know what access we will have to those experts, how quickly they can respond. Like if there's a newsjacking opportunity, if we get something over to them, can we have it back in an hour, however long it might be, so we can get it out before everyone else gets their kind of newsjacks out because it's so competitive. And then we also talk about kind of what topics they'd like to be known for, what keywords they want to rank for, all the usual suspects really. And then, just the day-to-day processes. So, how much time do they have? How do they want us to report to them? How much contact, etc.
Love that, guys. I'm coming down to my last few questions here, so be sure to ask them in the live chat if you have any questions. I mean, you're dropping so many knowledge bombs right now. I'm learning so much right now. I'm curious, like, okay, so now that, like, even like how digital PR is just still getting traction, even especially here in the US, like, I mean, where do you even see it going from here? Like, what's the future of digital PR and like SEO? Like, what's
Good
your
question.
thoughts? Yeah.
So I think the future of digital PR is strong. And that's because over the last few years, it's boomed. It's boomed in the UK, and we're gaining more and more traction as an agency in the US as well. So we're working with more US clients, Canadian clients. So I think, in the States, it's being recognized that digital PR is the more authentic way, to build links for the brand. It's the more sensitive way, and it can do a lot less damage than link buying can, So, so I think more and more agencies are also offering digital PR. We've got so many freelancers in the UK doing it as well. So it's becoming a lot more competitive. And as it becomes more competitive, prices come down, right? Which is what every brand wants. However, the quality comes down too. So with everything, you pay for what you get in life. So I think the agencies that really stand out will be the agencies that are kind of promise less links, but better quality ones, right? As an agency, we're always about getting the best authority links and the most relevant links as well, because you don't want a load of irrelevant links that might do you damage at the end of the day. So we care less about a link volume and more about kind of link quantity. So as an industry, it's getting more competitive. Everyone seems to be doing it. Everyone seems to want it, which is amazing. And I just expect that to grow.
Yes. I mean, I really do see, like, I even feel like myself as an SEO, I was like, man, I should be transitioning to this digital PR. Like, I just kind of see, because I'm actually doing it, doing small stories here and there as an SEO, but it's like something you have to, it's something that you have to do now with SEO. I mean, for those quality content and getting those quality backlinks, I think it's something almost like a necessity when it comes to SEO.
Especially if you're in a competitive niche. If you're in a competitive vertical and you've got kind of competitors buying a lot of links, probably unnaturally, then the best thing you can do is earn better quality links, more relevant links, and be much more targeted with your approach to digital PR as well.
Love that. And also, this is something I actually asked, like when I was doing my digital PR podcast at one point, was that, what are your thoughts on PR syndication, distribution? Like, I mean, like when the ones you pay for in syndication, like, is that part of your process, or do you kind of stay away from that? Or what are your thoughts on PR syndication? Because some people also think that digital PR is that, but they're totally two different things. What are your thoughts?
No, we don't do any paid syndication. No, it's 100%. But if other sites kind of share it through their networks, then that's perfect, and we consider that kind of a plus rather than kind of a negative. But no, we don't get involved in that side of things.
Okay. Love that. Okay, I didn't see any questions come in the live chat, so this is my last question that I ask all my SEO professionals that come on, is that if someone wants to get into the SEO industry, become an SEO professional themselves, what would your advice be to them?
Good question. And as an SEO, I'm not, because I'm not an SEO, I don't know how qualified I am to answer this, but I can come at it from the digital PR perspective. So, and I've learned a lot from Andy Holland, who I know you've met, and he's our SEO director, and he's just like a wealth of information. It's incredible. So every time I chat to him, I learn something new. But I think it's just having an open mind. That's what I would encourage people to come into SEO, not be too focused on a spreadsheet and individual results, and instead think about the bigger picture and how the brand comes into it as well. Because what I often see is SEO and SEO teams being so siloed from the other marketing teams that I don't think they're given the respect that they should have at the table, right? So, and we see it when we work with big brands. So the PR department, you kind of rule the roost, right? And they tend to control what the SEO team can do in terms of kind of earning links, because it kind of steps on their kind of PR toes in a way. But I think there's some education that SEOs need to do in terms of the value SEO has to an organization, and therefore it should have more priority as part of a business. Organic budget should be higher because of what you should be able to achieve if you're given kind of that freedom to do it and have a seat next to PR at the table, rather than being like, down the rung.
Love that.
I actually answered that question. So yeah, I just think like an open mind You know, somebody that's good with data and somebody that's, you know, very hungry to learn new things, constantly question what's going on, why, and not just be like, well, that's what the spreadsheet says. So, you know.
Love that. And also, I believe you actually have a great, I've actually found some videos. You actually had a YouTube channel.
No.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about like how you can become, because is it what called business? Was it Business Unfiltered, or what was the name?
Yes, it was. Yeah. Yeah, a couple of years ago, I saw that in the intro and I was like, oh no.
It was some great stuff.
Yeah, I set up this YouTube channel a couple of years ago just to talk about what it was like kind of running an agency and just being really honest, because I think there's this idea out there that's perpetuated by social media that's like, you know, being a business owner is really cool. You can get rich in a year. You'll become a millionaire. The reality is often very different, and that it's a hard graft, and that, you know, you have a lot of setbacks, and it's a constant kind of fight, I guess, and a lot of kind of firefighting, you know, especially in the agency world, I think. I mean, I'm a bit biased, but yeah, it's generally hard work. So the YouTube channel was just me being very honest about what I've learned, what I've done wrong, what, you know, all those things basically.
I really think you should restart it up. There was some great information on there, and for this episode to feel complete for you, other than the YouTube channel, how can people get a hold of you? And you know, where any last comments for the show audience?
Sure. I'm on LinkedIn, so you're welcome to get a hold of me via LinkedIn. I used to be on Twitter, but I don't spend any time there anymore because it wasn't a nice place to be. So yeah, you can either get in touch with me on LinkedIn, or you can get in touch with JBH on the website via the form. And if you just want to have a general chat about digital PR and what it could do for your business or how you could get started, then I'm here.
Love it. Everyone, let's give a round of applause. Thank you, Jay. Can you hold on for one quick second while I sign off here? Hold on for 1 quick second. All right, guys, that concludes another episode of the SEO Video Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And don't forget to visit our sponsors, agency@satson.com, search-intelligence.co.uk, and SEONitro.com. All right, guys, I will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Thank you for watching. Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new, because the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO video show. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre DeVera helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo!